It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal, everybody. I'm host Mike Adams, sitting in the cabin tonight with Dan DeFaw. Before we get started, we want to help you save some money.
That's right, folks. Don't forget to use our promo codes to save that money. And let's start off with buckbaits.com. That's right, the brick and mortar store of Buck Baits down at Sterling Heights, Michigan at 15 and Dodge Park. Go over there. If you're on the website, buckbaits.com, use the promo code UNJ20. That will get you 20% off your order.
For those of you who are looking for Easy Cut products, make sure you go to easycutproducts.com. And when you're there, use the UNJ promo code UNJ15 off to save 15% off your order.
And let's not forget Lincoln Roan over at packermax.com. It's never too early, never too late to think about the Packer Max. Go on over to packermax.com, use the promo code UNJ25. That'll get you $25 off your order over at Packer Max Outdoor.
For those of you looking for some new firearms and firearm products, make sure you go over to the islandarmory.com. While you're there shopping, use the promo code UNJ10 to save 10% off your order there.
If you shot that bird of a lifetime and you want it mounted, don't forget Troublesome Creek Taxidermy. We've had them live on the show. We've talked to them. You want to get 10% off your order, go to Facebook, go to troublesome.creek.7, find their website. If you go to our website, UNJ, make sure to click on the button to download the form. You get 10% off over there using the code UNJ10.
Looking for that game call, whether it be a squirrel, whether it be goose, duck, deer, make sure you go to JPO Game Calls. Look for them at jpogamecalls.com, and while you're there shopping, use the UNJ10 promo code to save 10% off your order.
And Miller Deer Tracking, the man that seems to never sleep during deer season. Get 20% off your next deer tracking using the promo code UNJ20. Look for Miller Deer Tracking on Facebook or give him a call over at 810-240-4891.
Looking for the hottest new plastics to take on the water, whether it be hard water or soft water? Make sure you go over to southernindianabaitco.com. While there, use the UNJ promo code UNJ10 to save 10% off your order.
Deer Camp Coffee, folks. We drink it every night on the show. You want to try it? You can go to the brick and mortar store at 15 and Dodge Park at Deer Camp itself, or go to deercampcoffee.com. Also use our promo code UNJ10. You get 10% off your order. And don't forget, get a bag of the UNJ medium roast blend there as well.
All right, Danny, where's our live view camera to look from tonight?
Welcome back to another live episode of Up North Journal. We are live in the cabin, but we're going to look live up at Snow Chasers Lodge. It's May, Mike, and we're going to go up where it's 49 degrees to Wakefield, Michigan. What do you see on the ground?
Something I don't want to see, man. They always say May. It may rain, it may snow. It snowed here.
It did. It was snowing a couple nights ago.
This is in the UP, though, right?
This is in the UP, Wakefield, Western UP. I just checked the temperature. It's 49 degrees. Obviously, the snow is hopefully melting as fast as it showed up.
Yeah, no kidding. 27 inches in Henry, Michigan, which is up near the Keweenaw Peninsula on May 1st. 27 inches one day, the most snow ever recorded in the month of May in one day east of the Colorado Rockies.
I tell you.
Welcome to the show.
Right? Let's get rid of that.
No kidding.
You know, we got Michigan turkey here going on, so it's supposed to be spring.
It's supposed to be.
But obviously somewhere else is definitely...
I mowed the yard today with the winter jacket on.
You did mow the yard. I mowed it Sunday. I think I was able to get out there in between the rain and get on it. But, yeah, it's May.
It's May. It's cold. It's wet. Went camping this weekend. Got rained on for 3 days.
Right.
But we did get 3 bike rides in, saw a lot of deer. Got up close and personal to a few of them.
You did. There was a couple videos you posted. I thought you were going to have, shake hands or maybe try to saddle one up.
I was ready to throw the bike down and jump on deer and see if we could, do a rodeo.
That would be interesting.
It would have been cool.
Right?
So
this week we're taking a little bucket list adventure.
Yeah, you are.
Yep. Matter of fact, I'm actually going to do it.
Once and for all, you talked about this, I don't know, I think ever since I met you.
Ever since I met you, there was always, I never really wanted to do it. It was like, okay. Now it's like, okay, I got to do it at least once. And so I went out and I contacted our buddy that we go over to the west side of Michigan to see all the time over on the west side shows, Mr. Dave Wilkins, and who has his daughter with him today, Morgan. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hello.
How we doing, guys?
Doing good. Trying to stay warm. Michigan weather stinks. It flat out sucks. Put it that way.
Right?
Man, oh man.
Well, just so everybody knows, yes, I will be leaving 1 week from today, heading to South Africa to do some hunting. I'm taking my fiance Denise, and Dave and Morgan are going with us. Actually, I'm going with them, I guess, because I made the mistake. I always told Dave I'd go when he goes, and I made the mistake of calling him last August, and I said, he goes, hey, I'm going to go. I went, uh-oh.
So you're going.
I'm going.
So is this like a honeymoon trip, or is this a pre-honeymoon trip, or is this just like a getaway and go slay some animals? I mean, what's going on?
Well, this is the test to get to our wedding in June.
Don't do that while I'm drinking, man.
If she does not pass the test, she just might be an employee of the safari there.
What happens if you don't pass the test?
I can work from home.
Okay, all right. Dave, you got your hands full. That's all I'm telling you. Morgan, you do too. I feel sorry for you two taking him along. I got to put up with this guy all the time. So now you're going to get a little taste of what I have to go through every Wednesday night. So you guys are flying out Wednesday?
We're looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next Wednesday, everybody boards a plane and takes off, huh?
Yeah, we're he's leaving from, where are you leaving from, Lansing? Grand Rapids, and I'm leaving from Detroit, and we're basically going to get down to Atlanta at about the same time, about 6 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And then 9 o'clock is our flight, 16 hours to Johannesburg, and then that'll get us there Thursday.
16 hours on a plane. Wow. With this guy.
Hey, I plan to try to do a little sleeping.
I do a lot of sleeping.
But-
I do a lot of drinking, then I do a lot of sleeping.
Right? No, don't do that. I've seen that go wrong so many ways on a trip. It's kind of funny. But so it'll be the four of us I'm going for 10 days. Dave is going to be there. Are both of you going to be there a little bit longer?
Yeah, we're sending you home after 10 days, and I got another group coming in for another 10 days. We're going to stick around and hunt with them and then come back with that group.
Okay. Awesome.
3-week trip, that's pretty good.
He's doing a 3-week trip. We're doing a 10-day trip. Getting excited, a little nervous, but is what it is.
Okay, so you said you called him last August.
Yep.
Okay, so Dave, he calls you last August. He says he's going to go. What's he got to look forward to getting things done? So somebody, like, maybe they're watching the show right now, and they said, I like that. I'm going to try that. I want to go do that. So between that August when he called you and next Wednesday when that plane leaves, what do people got to look forward to doing? I mean, there's got to be like a check-off list of things that they got to get done in a timely manner.
Yeah, obviously the biggest thing and foremost thing is obviously having a valid passport. Just make sure your passport is valid is the biggest thing. I recommend booking your flights as early as possible, just because it is a little less expensive. The longer you wait and you get closer to that date, the airlines tend to jack stuff up. So
Okay.
the biggest thing is just a valid passport, and then we'll take you from there and walk you through the steps.
Okay, so passport. What I know things have changed so much since COVID. What cut the time frame now? Like me, I don't have one, so I want to get started on it today, and I give them whatever they need to get going and the money. What's the expected return time on somebody that's just getting one done?
There's 2 ways to get a passport. You can rush them. You're going to pay an extra fee, or standard delivery time on a passport right now is about 3 to 4 months turnaround time. But you can get a rush one. You can get it down to about 4 weeks. You just pay an extra fee.
So it's like a cut and line fee.
Yeah, so basically a routine passport, like you said, a couple months or like 10 to 13 weeks. And if you want to pay an extra $60, you can have it 7 to 9. I think Denise did that right after we decided to book the trip. We said we're going to do this. She went right away to get her passport, and she had it within a couple months.
Okay.
It was a pretty good turnaround time. I know if you pay even more, let's say about $250, you can have it overnight.
Wow. Really?
Actually, within 2 to 3 business days, I think is officially, because for my day job, they had us do that, and they
paid for it?
Yeah, we went in on a Friday, and we had them like next Tuesday, the following Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to pay the money, you can get it fast, but that's
I
not.
wonder if that was because it was corporate. I mean, if it was an
It could have been.
If it's an individual,
But
they could
we
do
went
it.
down to downtown Detroit to the place down there by the Renson.
Okay.
And but yeah, so you got to have that passport, which we do have. Both are valid. Make sure both names that you have on the passport match your ID, right, Dave?
Yes. Yep.
Both names.
Your full name.
Oh, okay. I got you.
You know,
Yeah.
like, make sure because I'm a Danny.
Yeah.
Make sure my passport doesn't say Daniel or something.
Gotcha.
Like that, right. So yeah, make sure that's all correct. Then you'll be ready to go, and then you start relying on your gentleman who's going to be taking you to, let's get this done and be ready. And I know I'm ready. This will be the last weekend I shoot my bow, getting ready to go. Probably go get a couple more broadheads. But
Strictly archery for you?
nope. So with being a bucket list, I'm like, okay. And I just, he asked that, we take 4 animals. I'm like, okay.
Not gonna do the African 5?
Oh, no.
Five?
No. Come on. Slow down.
Trying to help you out, Dave.
He's going back again.
I told you, I can spend Danny's money really quick.
Right? So, and the easiest thing to do, and Dave will attest to this, is actually taking a bow. There's a lot more paperwork involved to take your own rifle, correct, Dave?
Yes.
So, Mark Coleman, you basically, if you're taking your bow, you lock it up, you'll go check it in, and then it gets shipped with your luggage, and it goes, you'll hope it doesn't get lost, and then it'll end up wherever we're going down.
Hopefully.
Right.
Did you put insurance on it?
No. So,
You're just gonna wing it.
why not?
Okay.
Better show up with me.
We've never really had any issues.
Okay.
The nice thing is flying over Delta. You go directly from Atlanta to Johannesburg. There's no stops in between for it to really get lost. So we've never had any issues whatsoever.
It's just getting from Detroit to Atlanta. It's probably
And because Delta
Switching there.
flies, and because Delta is Detroit and Delta hub is Atlanta, and you're basically doing Delta to Delta, it's not a big deal.
shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, so we've had worse when I've had to fly down to Spring Hill, but yeah. So this is a bucket list for me. Morgan is going. Will be your second time, right, Morgan?
Third time.
Third time a charm. She's gonna go. So
She's spoiled.
Yeah.
right. When was the first year you went?
2013. So I was in like 8th grade.
8th grade trip. That's a nice 8th grade trip.
Yeah, right.
That's the way I look at it.
Some kids just want to go to the zoo or Washington D.C.
Right.
She's going to Africa.
Yeah, bring back her own animals.
Can you imagine the stories? Well, where did you guys go for your 8th grade trip?
Yeah.
My dad took me to Africa. Now, did your mom go for that trip?
Yeah, that was the only trip that she's been on with with me. She's been before, but with me, that's the only trip.
Okay, and awesome. And Dave, so we're leaving here in Michigan. We're leaving at 9 o'clock at night. How many hour difference is the time change we're going to be seeing as we get into Johannesburg 16 hours later?
South Africa is 6 hours ahead of us.
Okay.
So we land roughly at about 6 o'clock on Thursday night, so it'll be noon back here.
So there you go, Mr. Coleman. It'll be 6 hours ahead of whenever you're thinking about me, and I'm excited.
Oh, heck yeah, I would be too.
I've been nervously anxious, but it's like, all right, let's just do this. I've yet to pack. I've got everything kind of mustered in different areas.
Okay.
Like I said, this is the last weekend. I'll shoot my bow, and then we'll go see what animals I can get. But one thing nice going down to the safari is you get a menu.
I like menus. Usually they include animals that are already on a plate, though.
No. This is a menu of what you can shoot.
Okay.
And basically, you can shoot from in the A's, an African wildcat, all the way down to, go to the bottom of the list, right? So, down to a zebra. I'm going to say this wrong, but a Burchell's zebra.
Burchell's.
And I plan to shoot one of those.
Okay, so what's the difference between a Burchell's and a Hartman's zebra?
Burchell's is the most common one. If you look at a Burchell's, they've got what they call a shadow stripe, and that's kind of that dirty white the dirt that you see in the white stripe.
Okay.
That's not dirt. That's actually part of the stripe.
Okay.
That is the Burchell's. A Hartman's or a mountain zebra is pure white.
Okay.
They're not as common as the Burchell's, but that's the difference. Is the Burchell's has that what they call a shadow stripe in the white, and then the Hartman's or the mountain zebra it's a pure white stripe.
All right.
So I want to shoot a zebra. That's number one.
All right.
Well, that's one of my 4.
All right.
In no particular order.
Well, I'll tell you, let's take a break. We come back. I want to know what's on your menu besides zebra.
And we got some questions for, Morgan, not Dave.
Okay. All right. We're going to step outside. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation here and find out what Danny plans on shooting when he gets over to Africa. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has reinvented the way you buy bows.
From now on, you can make the most educated decision possible
by basing your bow choice specifically on your shooting needs and goals.
All you need to do is ask yourself, what kind of shooter am I? What do I want to achieve?
PSE will help find the right category for you.
So, what kind of shooter are you?
Find out at psearchery.com.
Welcome back. Second segment of the show. We've been picking on Danny in the break for those of you listening on the podcast.
Yeah, you gotta. Unfortunately, if you're listening to the podcast, you're listening to the audio version. You miss what's in the breaks. So if you don't go back over to the live Facebook and see what happened in the break, you gotta wait till we put this on YouTube, probably later in the week, and then you can see what we talked about and how, Dan takes another one for the team as usual. So,
oh, poor Danny.
Yeah, that's right, poor me.
Poor Danny. So
what are we'll start the.
Well, I want to know about the menu.
Okay.
You can't leave me hanging on a menu.
All right.
So what? You got 5 animals picked, right?
I got 4. Well, I do have 5 animals picked.
Okay, so you got.
I want to shoot 4.
Okay.
There's a 5th one out there that I would like somebody else to shoot, but I think I might need Morgan's help.
Okay, we can talk about that.
Right?
So what are the 3?
All right.
You got
so
a zebra.
I want a zebra.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is which if you look, we have their website up right here. Hold on, if we go back, is a sable. That is a beautiful animal.
That's what we're looking at right now?
That's what we're looking at right on the cover.
Okay.
I want to shoot one of those.
All right.
That would be my number 1 on the list.
Okay.
Number 2 would be a kudu.
Mm-hmm.
I want to shoot a kudu. And then 3, like we talked about, is the zebra. But I also want to shoot a buffalo.
Okay.
Now, I think, Dave, you're going to go for a buffalo as well, correct?
Yeah, I'm going for a bull. I think you want to do a cow, correct?
Absolutely. So, he's going to go after the bull. I'm going to go after the cow. And what is specifically the difference between the two?
Really, Danny?
Oh, you need to know.
I had to do that.
But that's the only difference, like in most of the animal species, is the bull. A mature bull will be 1,800 to 2,000 pounds.
Okay.
They both do have horns, so you'll still have a trophy with your cow, just not as big usually. And then the cow's body size are a little bit obviously smaller than the bull's. So, but the hunting is more or less still the same. You're still going after a pretty mean critter that wants to hurt you if you don't treat it right, and so you'll still get just the excitement, but not the cost with as much as a bull.
Okay.
Right, exactly. So, if I ever go back, I might go after a male, but and I will not be going after this mean animal because I don't want to die and be that guy from the United States that got trampled.
Well, you got other people with you.
is on. Well, yeah, they know the trick.
Yeah.
Don't be the slowest one.
Well.
Right? So, so that, and then that's my 4, the top of my list.
Okay.
And then the 5th one that's out there is in Eland.
Okay.
Now, Dave and Morgan, we've talked, and they swear by Eland steaks or Sable steaks, correct?
Yeah.
So
Both better than any beef filet mignon you'll have.
There you go.
I gotta try it.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So, so Dave, we do have a question for you. How did you get started in Drop Tine Outdoor Adventures, doing all these hunts? Because this isn't the only, you don't only do safaris in Africa. You've got a whole list. We've got your website up right now at huntdroptineoutdoors.com. How did you get doing this?
A long story short, more or less by mistake, if you want to say that. I grew up in Michigan just chasing whitetails, but then wanted to expand my horizons, so I started going out west, Canada, and that type of thing. And then when I got back, I had other friends and family asking me, hey, how'd it go? I'd like to do that, blah, blah, blah. Well, it just kept more and more people coming to me asking the same questions. So I'm like, well, if I'm giving all this advice and that type of stuff, I'm going to start kind of making it a business. So I did, and that was 22 years ago or better. So been doing it since.
And you have done it in, we met a long time ago when I think we were both on Mossio Pro staff.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Right?
7, 8, 9 years.
And you know, you've done all the SCI events and everything, and you've really done a good job, and I really can't wait for the start of next week. So if we get there Thursday in the evening, we'll probably start possibly hunting on Friday.
Yeah, because we won't get into camp until like 10 between probably 10 and 10:30 Thursday night, and we'll be whooped, so we'll just go right to bed. We'll be up kind of early. I mean, we won't beat the sun up, but we'll get up at daybreak, make sure the bows are still on, the guns are still on, that type of stuff, and then we'll hit the field.
We got a question in here for someone who doesn't know. I mean, we've asked before, but actually, it's my daughter's asking the question. She's watching tonight. When you get game over there, it's not like typically if you get something here in the States, you know, you can pack it, throw it on ice, get it back home, get the meat, get the cape, all that kind of stuff. As long as you're following all the rules, make sure everything's deboned and all that kind of good stuff because of CWD. But over there, you don't bring the meat back, right?
Correct. Yeah, you can't bring any meat back to the States, so it's strictly a trophy hunt for us. But everything is used. Nothing is gutted in the field. You know, like over here, we get a whitetail. You gut it in the field before you get it out. Over there, as soon as it's on the ground, you get the pictures. The whole animal gets thrown in the truck and taken back to camp, and then gutted in camp. That way, they can use the intestines, they use the heart, the liver, all that type of internal organs. About the only thing that goes to waste are the bones and what blood you lose. Everything else is used.
And from what I've heard, and I think you've told us this before when we've had you on the show, that the village uses everything. They take all that, and people, they share the meat, they share all of the things that come out of the animal. They share it with the local people, or they take it to market and sell it, and the money comes back to the village. Is that right?
Correct. Yep. Yeah. We'll take meat, keep some for in camp, so Danny can have his Eland steaks and his Sable steaks and that. So we have food for camp. Some of it is sold at market, and then others. There's several the kids over there in school, they leave their home on Sunday and then go all week to school, and they only come back home on Friday night.
Okay.
And the schools are responsible for feeding them during the week. So we donate a lot of meat to the local schools to feed those kids during the week while they're at school.
You know, I really wish more of this part of the story would get out to people out, you know, just...
Well, the only
in
story
society.
we hear is about Cecil.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and trophy hunters this and trophy... All you want to do is, you know, bring home a head and put it on your wall, or bring home the hide. Well, there's so much more to it, you know. And you know, talk a little bit about how these hunts are managed. You know, it's not like you're just going out and slaughtering animals. It's a managed hunt, and that benefits the species, correct?
Yeah, it's just like here in North America or anywhere worldwide. There's a certain holding capacity that the animals can maintain, for food, cover, and that type of stuff. And obviously every day man is encroaching on that. And so with what's left, you need the animals to survive with their natural habitat and food sources. So even with elephant, last trip we were over there, we went to an elephant area that they actually need to start taking some out of because they just decimated the forest because there's too many and they want to allow them to be hunted, and they were just decimating the forest. Well, then you get rogue elephants because now they're wandering outside their typical habitat, and then that's when you run into problems with people and crops and other things. So like everything, it needs to be managed. And Africa is a very good source of knowing how to do that.
Well, it benefits the animals and benefits the community, so they're going to protect it.
Right, exactly. And that's one of the things. Look at, by having hunters come in and shoot these game animals, they're feeding the community, right? Yeah. So, exactly. So, you're right. The real story needs to get out instead of the poor guy that went and actually did something totally legal, but they made him out like a villain here in the United States, right? So, Dave, we can use a combination of a bow and gun. What kind of hunting are we going to be doing? We're going to be doing spot and stalk. We're going to be sitting by water holes. What's our plan of attack?
Well, usually for bow hunters, we have hides or blinds set up on water holes, and it's kind of a whitetail game. You just sit and waiting for game to come into the water to get a drink, and then we sit in the blinds with you to tell you what you can and can't shoot, or what's a trophy and what's not a trophy, that type of stuff. And so it's kind of a waiting game for bow hunting. So that's the typical bow hunting day. Gun hunting is a little different. We'll go out and actually drive around in the truck until we see what we're looking for, then park the truck and do a lot of spotting and stalking and walking.
So we got a couple of different ways of doing it.
Yeah, don't shoot that because that's going to cost you a lot of money.
Well, actually, he said it a different way. If the person that's with me says, shoot that one, that means it's probably a pretty good chance it's a really good one.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? Hey, it is what it is. It's a bucket list for me. We're going to be doing bow hunting from blinds over water holes, or we're going to be doing spot and stalk. Morgan, you kind of were talking about this before we went on the show, but what kind of weather does it look like we're going to expect while we're there?
So I've been paying attention to the weather. It looks like it's going to be high 70s. In the mornings, I know it's cold. It's gotten down to like 32 degrees or so over there.
You'll see your breath.
Yeah, but by noontime, if you put layers on, you're taking those layers off because it gets toasty. I wouldn't say I'm particularly toasty, but it gets toasty. So good weather, nice, warm, sunny weather.
So are you wanting warmer, hot weather so animals come to the water hole? Is that the thought process?
No, I just like hot weather.
Okay. All right.
Usually, yes. For bow hunting, obviously the dry, warmer weather makes them come to water.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you want to be ready to ambush them.
So is it better for a morning hunt or later in the day hunt?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. There's so many animals over there. We have 52. I think at last count, 52 huntable species in our area.
Wow.
So just out of that number of species and the hundreds and thousands running around, something's coming almost all the time. Mm-hmm. So.
Oh my gosh.
So it's not going to be like hunting whitetail in Michigan. You're sitting there for a couple hours before you see something.
Correct.
That's my favorite part about sitting at a watering hole is you see a bunch of different species. You're not just sitting there twiddling your thumbs waiting for something to show up.
Okay. Well, Morgan, let me ask you this. On the trips that you've been, sitting there, you got all these animals coming through. What's been the coolest non-game species animal you saw there?
I don't think I mean, most of the game species, we've, like, sitting at watering holes, I've seen game species driving around and just kind of, like, on the property. We saw, last time we were there, we saw an aardwolf, which apparently is extremely rare to see, so that was really cool. And we saw an aardvark.
Yeah.
We saw 2 aardwolves, actually, in 2 different parts of in South Africa, and we saw an aardvark. I wouldn't say... I mean, normally at a watering hole, the typical species, like, it's normal to see the typical species that you would hunt, but it's cool to see them interact.
So an aardwolf is extremely rare to actually see?
From what I was told, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got a picture of one up.
Yeah, we got a picture of one as you're talking about it. It's a cute animal that you never knew existed. Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That is pretty cool, right? So
I gotta imagine you see a lot of birds as well.
Yes, they've got doves over there similar to our mourning doves, a ring-necked dove, vultures, name it. They got Egyptian geese, guinea fowl, Franklin fowl. We do some bird hunting. We'll get you doing that, Dan. You're gonna have a lot of fun hunting guinea fowl the way we hunt it.
okay,
we'll make sure that happens.
All right.
I'm not going to tell you until we're on the truck doing it.
You got me for 10 or minus 10. You got me for 10 days. So, hey, it's a once in a lifetime trip. I'm excited. Denise is excited. Morgan, a question for you. In 2013, on your original trip, what was your favorite kill or hunt?
So when we went in 2013, I actually only got 1 animal. I got a blessed buck. My dad told me I could get more, and I was like, no, I'm good. So my blessed buck was really cool, just because it was my first African animal. My last trip, though, in 2018? Yeah, 2018. That was a fun trip. That was, my favorite animal probably was my blue wildebeest.
So there you go, Mr. Mark Coleman. And don't worry, Mr. Mark Coleman. I'm pretty sure Morgan is pretty strong because, yes, I'll have to be on her shoulders so I can see the game animals.
Get him a little booster seat.
Don't worry. Mark Coleman says a booster seat might be too high for me to sit in the window seat for the plane.
Yeah, okay.
So, I tell you. Jealousy gets them nowhere.
That's right.
But anyways, like I said, I'm excited. When we come, we're going to step up for a second break, and when we come back, we'll continue talking. 1 week from today, I'm out.
All right. We're going to step outside, take our next break. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has always dominated the speed category. Now, the most revolutionary cam system ever to hit the market has perfected the shooting experience. Introducing PSE's Evolve Cam System, featuring extremely high let-off capabilities and the smoothest draw cycle in history. No other cam system has ever delivered this level of total comfort and total control. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
Welcome back, third segment of the show. Cracking on Danny once again in the break. That's always good. You're a good sport.
Absolutely. It wouldn't be fun if we were all serious about this, right?
Yeah, right. You gotta have fun. I mean,
right?
It's a bucket list thing. It's supposed to be fun.
So, Dave, what type of rifles are we looking at using for these, let's say, a buffalo?
Buffalo will shoot 375s, which is the smallest legal caliber that you can shoot. 300 grain bullet. It's about the size of your ring finger, maybe.
Have you shot a 375, Danny?
I've shot a 300 18-inch Magnum, so
okay,
it's a little bit bigger, but yeah,
I've shot one.
Yeah, it's a Kazawi, but my plan is to shoot it once. Well, if we're gonna practice with it a couple times, but once at what I want to shoot at, because whoever my guy is going to say shoot that one, and I'm going to shoot that one, and then I'll cry later in the pool or something as I.
Nah, you won't even feel it. You'll be so excited about the shot, you won't even know it happened.
Well, you know what?
It's not that bad.
It's really not that bad because I'm assuming the gun is actually pretty heavy.
Yeah, they are.
Exactly. So, I tell you, Mark Coleman is on a roll. That's all I got to say.
He says that he can hunt short animals.
But, so, it's kind of funny. Dave, we're talking about guns.
Mm-hmm.
Dave texted me a week and a half ago. Says, hey, can you do me a favor? I'm like, all right. I'm going with the guy. What am I saying? No. Can't do that. So he ordered some bullets, just bullets, from Midway.
Okay.
And they only allowed 2 boxes per order.
Oh, so you got to take 2 and she's got to take 2.
Well, I'm taking 2 and Dave's taking 2.
Oh,
so,
okay. I got
so Hendrik can get his 4 boxes, because I'm assuming he reloads them? Is that why?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he reloads and he buys all his bullets here. When he's here, he buys and takes back what he can, and then he asks his mules to bring some to him too.
I get it. So when I walk in, I better have them first and foremost out.
That's right.
Is my fee to get in the door.
You got to put them in some balloons and then pull them out.
Right? So, it's funny when we were doing that. It's kind of like, okay. But like you said, don't put them in the bow case. Put them in my checked luggage.
Yeah.
So, is that how they do a lot of that down there? Is they do a lot of reloading?
Yes, yeah. Almost all the outfitters over there will reload, because it's cheaper, and it's actually easier for them to get what they want versus trying to find a store there that's got what they want.
Okay.
So a lot of the guys, like I said, when they're here, the only thing they can't get here and take back is obviously the powder and the primers, but they can get that there. But the bullets themselves, which is mainly the biggest thing, obviously you want a good quality bullet for the animals, and we've got those here in the States, so they'll get what they can and haul back with them, and so they can do a lot of reloading.
Well, I got to imagine too that you want your own recipe, as the reloaders call it.
Yeah.
Load it a little hot or whatever, to get the proper penetration, what they're looking for. I mean, I imagine they've done enough of it and seen enough that they know what they want out, what kind of performance they want out of that bullet, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Now, doing that, the question is there any type of, after you get an animal, is there any type of celebration that you guys have? Like, is it like at the end of the night or something? Because besides bouncing off everything I can after shooting one of these things, I'm going to be on cloud 9.
You going to blood Danny?
I don't know. Is there any celebrations?
Yeah. Once we get back and get the animal up in the skin and shed and gutted, then we stick his head up in the cavity of the animals.
Okay. Well,
I'll be a redhead again.
Instead of just a couple blood streaks across the cheeks, you just stick his head up in the carcass.
You'd fit too.
See? Is there any superstitions or rituals that you have prior to going out or after the kill?
Good question.
That's a good one.
Not for me.
Morgan, do you got something? Do you got to wear like a special hat or something, or?
No, I don't. No.
I think the biggest.
I just.
I think the
aim.
biggest thing for me, and I do it no matter where I am, is, believe it or not, I hate killing animals. That animal gave its life, and so I personally, over here, I'll sit down, stroke the animal's fur, whatever the case may be, and kind of give it respect for 30 seconds or something. I don't know if you want to call that a tradition, or it's not superstition, but
no, I get that.
That's something for me. Just because it shows respect for the animal, you're just not out there being bloodthirsty and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I completely get that.
That's something I do. I think it's cool.
I think that is something all hunters should do, no matter what they're hunting, is pay respect to the animal.
I think today, I would say probably more than half of our hunters, I hope it's way more than that, but I'm starting to hear people express that and talk about that a lot more.
And that's what it should be. I mean, most of the time you're doing it by yourself, so you don't have a crowd that is seeing it, but it's just one of those things that I think every person should do. I do know a couple guys personally that they kill as many deer here with the doe tags as they can because they like just shooting stuff and getting numbers, and I don't agree with that.
Right.
And so, that's my thing is, the conservation is obviously needed and that type of thing. So that's why I do it. And obviously the love of the outdoors and the challenge and everything.
Exactly. And as anybody just watched the light go on, and Morgan was shocked when she saw the light go on, right?
We were all dark in our faces, weren't we?
Right, and all of a sudden the light went on, and I thought, not that I would rib her or anything, but it looked like she had thought, just go like, bink.
She saw the light.
Right?
Saw the light.
We've talked about hunting the animals, what we're going to hunt them with, the blinds. Talk about the accommodations that we're going to be looking forward to in the camp itself.
You want to talk about that one?
As my mom just said in the background, it's not a mud hut. They're very nice. I enjoy them. They're
chalets.
Yeah, they have, depending on what room you stay in, there's single beds, double beds, but multiple in there. Nice showers. It feels very homey. Like they don't feel like I'm staying somewhere and I'm just there for a little while, like a hotel or something. It feels very homey to be in them. They're nice. I don't really know how to.
They look nice.
Yeah, we just went through the pictures that are on the website, and like you said, they're not a mud hut. There's showers, there's beds, there's the one picture of the outside, the lawn is looks pretty manicured.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, and the one food picture looks pretty good, that it looks almost like a cuisine that they go through. So who does the cooking?
There's a camp chef. That's what he does.
Okay, cool. I can't wait.
So you don't know what you're having for dinner until you bring the game home.
Either that, or he's probably going to look at me and say,
they're going to go shoot this.
Go shoot it and turn me around.
We've been known to do that before, too.
I would say that's probably the best part about the dinners is that you're eating what you just got or what somebody in camp just got, and it's healthy. My body you would think that you don't lose weight over there because you're eating so much, but I think you do because of how healthy the food is and how fresh it is, and it's not processed and you don't get it from the store. Well, most of it.
Not shot up full of steroids and other things. Antibiotics and what have you, we can go on and on about that's a whole nother show.
Right, exactly. Like you said, that game is just
Adam Wynn said it looks a lot nicer than he expected.
And and one of the things with Dave is when I go with Denise, there's going to be a total of 4 of us in camp, and Dave and Morgan are going to be the other 2 in camp. There isn't going to be a plethora of other hunters,
30 people there,
that I have no idea who it is, and how they might react, or because some people can get a little over the top when they get back for the evening.
Sure.
And but
a little too much sauce.
A little too much. But I'm looking forward to that camaraderie of a small camp.
Well, with that being said, Dave, talking, not exact pricing, but so you got 4 people in camp that are they're there to hunt. Does that cost the people more, a price increase versus having maybe 10 or 12 in camp, or do they just cater to that group?
It's the reason we only have a small camp is because we want to make it personal.
Sure.
There are many outfitters over there that you're just a number, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And my first trip over 20-some years ago was like that. It was with an outfitter that I think around the dinner table at night we had like 16, 18 people.
Okay.
You're just a number to them. They want you there shooting critters. Thanks for coming. See you later. Bye type thing. We want to make it a more personable, one-on-one, family-oriented hunt. And so that's why we don't mix groups. We don't have multiple groups in camp. We do have big groups in camp, but we can house up to about 15 people.
Okay.
And we've housed up to 12 before, but it was all the same family.
Gotcha.
So, if it was just Danny and Denise, the camp would be all there. If they booked and they said, hey, we're booking this week, the camp would be just strictly theirs.
Okay.
Now, if we had another couple that said, hey, we're in a tight time frame, here's our window, can you squeeze us in?
Mm-hmm.
we would look at the schedule and say, well, Danny and Denise are here. Maybe we'll call them and see if they would mind. And that's exactly what we do.
Okay.
Because we would call Dan and say, hey, we got this other couple, they're tight on frame. Do you mind if they join you in your time frame? And he's got the right to tell us yes or no. And it's exactly that reason is with strangers in camp, you don't know if they're jerks, if they're drunks and they're going to ruin your time or whatever the case may be. So we want it to be a personal thing, so we don't put people through in groups like that.
Gotcha.
The time in camp is your time.
Makes sense.
Right. As you're talking, I'm looking through the Facebook page here of the safari, and I tell you what, you talk about a blue sky in the background of all these pictures. You know, it just looks, and that buffalo just looks huge, right? So, and then we go further down here, and that is a gorgeous sable.
Yeah, the past 2 weeks, they've been killing some big sable. I think they've taken 3 at about 46 and 47 inches, which is just 40 is the magic mark. Let's put it that way.
Okay, cool.
Get above 40, that's the Boone and Crockett baby.
All right. I hear dollar signs.
Yeah.
Ka-ching. That is true, yes. They do go up with those big ones, yes.
Right, but once in a lifetime. But I tell you what, we're coming up on our last break. We have yet to discuss how we're going to get the heads, trophies back. So when we come back, let's talk about that.
All right, we're going to step outside last break, and we'll continue the conversation when we get back. We'll be right back after this.
Acceleration is part of PSE's DNA. PSE pioneered the speed movement. Now they've developed the vapor category to help you find the most powerful bows on the market to fit you.
High speed equates to intense power and building the momentum you need to be successful. Are you a vapor shooter? Find out at psearchery.com.
You okay there?
Yeah, just hit my headset and kind of rang my ears.
All right, I was just making sure that you're all right.
I'm getting nervous.
I know, you're getting antsy, man.
I know, right?
A week from tonight.
I'll be in the air.
Be in that big jet airliner heading to Atlanta, getting ready to take off to Johannesburg.
Actually, we'll be 8:23. We'll be in Atlanta. We'll maybe get some food or something. We'll have a couple hour layover before we board and get on the last leg. But speaking of communication, typically you've told me the best app that works down there is WhatsApp. What app?
WhatsApp?
Yeah. WhatsApp works best down there. And why is that?
Well, for one, it's an app. It's just on your phone, and so it doesn't cost anything. You can communicate worldwide via text message, voice message, actual phone. Actually, WhatsApp has a phone system too, and it's all free because it's just on an app. And so that's how my guy and I stay in contact daily. I can text him right now, other than he's in bed, but usually I can text him some point during the day when he's in the field, and when he gets a break, he'll turn around and answer me. So it's instantaneous, like a normal text message here in the state, but it's over an app, and it does. So when you're traveling, it doesn't cost you anything to do that. Where if you used a normal text or phone on your cell phone, you'd have to pay extra with your carrier back here.
So I gotta imagine that you got good, decent cell service over there.
We do, yeah. It's actually not too bad. There's Wi-Fi in camp, so when you're back in camp, you can, contact your family. You can check your Facebook. You can make social media posts, do whatever you want to do. If you got some work to do, you could access, your work emails or your home emails, whatever you need to do.
I've thought about taking my work computer and
save some vacation time.
I
thought about doing the same thing.
Right? Because today I was lining up my being gone, and there's several meetings that I'm going to miss that it's like,
Hang on a minute, boys. I got to shoot this.
Right? I think that'd go over well. Right? Okay, so the WhatsApp, the communication, Come on, Mark Holman. Do we wear camo? There's only one camo we're going to be wearing down there. You know what that is? We're wearing Swamp Buck. That's right. So, we're going to be very happy people at the end of 10 days, and we're going to have our trophies with us. What's the process of getting them back home to a taxidermist near us?
The last day in camp, we've got a company that comes in. They'll take all your information, your contact information. They'll tag all your animals, and then you'll go through a list with them of what you're going to do with them. You're welcome to leave them there and have them fully taxidermied, or just have them prepped in order to come back to the States. That's cleaning the skulls, obviously, getting them down to bone, removing all the meat and all that type of stuff, preserving the skins enough to get them home. They're not tanned, but they're preserved enough to get home to your taxidermist. And then they take them and they go. You get them back within about 6 to 7 months, and that is an additional cost. They charge for cleaning the animal for you and then crating and shipping it back to the States.
So there you go. Hopefully at the end of 10 days, we'll be going through a nice little checklist, and I'm going to rely on Dave to a good taxidermist to go to.
How long does it take to get them back in state and to a taxidermist? How long does it take to clear customs?
Once they hit our borders here in the States, we recommend a clearinghouse called Coppersmith here in the States. They'll come into Chicago, they'll clear them in Chicago, and then once they hit the door, they're probably processed within 2 weeks time frame.
Okay. That's not too bad. They're not sitting there for an amount of time, and need to get them to the taxidermy ASAP, right?
Right. Gotcha.
So, but like I said, Dave's gonna give me a tip on who to use probably over there. Who's done? I'm assuming done your animals, right, Dave?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So another question. Adam Wynn, live streams from camp, maybe. I don't see why not. What is the most important personal item that you should bring, but most people forget to bring?
I don't know if there is one. The biggest thing is don't bring a whole lot. We actually, except for if you're a girl, of course. Jeez. But no, we do your laundry every day. So I've gone over for a month before and lived out of my bow case and what clothes I packed in around my bow in a carry-on bag.
Wow.
And so you need one pair of boots and say 3 changes of clothes. So
and a toothbrush, yeah.
Wait, a voice from above says bring your toothbrush.
The voice of reason.
Right? The voice of reason from above. Bring your toothbrush.
That's
but no. Like I said, in the first timers, I usually do pack way too much. But like I said, we do daily laundry, so there's no need to pack very much at all.
So that's kind of what we've been, when we packed this weekend, we kind of, Denise and I are going to kind of go over, I think we settled on 4, right? 4 pairs of this, 4 pairs of that. But you're going to be doing like our laundry every day, and so you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I'm going to be there 10 days, or like he's going to be there 3 weeks, right?
Right.
So it'll be exciting. There's some other stuff I'm going to be bringing. Some Skittles I was told to bring. I guess that goes a long way in camp.
Skittles, Starburst, candies. They like the sweets, so
right?
I always over a bunch of candies and stuff.
So I got Skittles and Jolly Ranchers.
That'll work.
There you go.
Harm loves Jolly Ranchers.
Does he?
Yeah.
There we go.
Harm, who will actually probably be your PH, loves Jolly Ranchers, so that's a good pick.
All right, I'm just going to give him the whole bag.
We got to do it little by little.
Yeah, make him work for it.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's like currency, you know,
right?
In the blind.
Slide over 2 to him.
Yeah, that's going to get me the bigger animal, right? No charge? Here, I'll give you 3 Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, I got Skittles and I've got Jolly Ranchers. I've got the bullets. I don't know. Maybe Denise and I can get down to 1 big suitcase and 2 carry-ons. Now that I'm thinking it more through, is the way you're talking. There's a weight limit.
You're taking your bow case. You can pack extra clothes in around your bow to help protect that too. So
Right.
It that gives you a little more room for clothes in your bow case. So.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you didn't hear him talking about that earlier?
Yeah, I heard him talk about it earlier, but it just
didn't ring a bell.
Well, like I said, I got everything stationed, right? So he just tipped me off to how I want to pack that. And after I shoot this weekend and make sure I can hit the broadside of a barn, we'll be good.
What animals are you going to shoot with a bow?
I'm hoping to shoot the sable, the zebra, and my kudu.
You don't want to shoot the water buffalo with a bow?
I was gonna go with a Bowie knife.
Okay, there you go.
And a loincloth.
There you go.
And have Dave tape it for me.
Yeah, you could do like
that. Hey, Mike.
The guy with a knife. Can't remember. Yeah.
Mike, if he does that, that's the one we'll live feed for you.
Definitely, because it might be the last one I get from him.
But
Tread Barta.
I was pointing. He's right there.
Yeah. Adam said, "Don't forget your release."
Trust me, I'm like paranoid of it's still on my bow. It's like
actually, if you got a couple, it'd be handy. Bring two.
Right. I've got one. I've got our stand, so don't lose it. If not, I'll just switch over to a gun and start throwing lead. You said everything is within 30-yard shots, right?
With a bow, we try to get you 20 or less. Yes.
Okay, so if I'm at to the point and I start throwing lead at 20 yards, I better hit
something,
right?
Yeah. Well, Morgan, what are you going after this trip? What's on your list?
I got a big list, but my main thing that I really want is a kudu. I want to beat my dad's kudu, so I want a kudu. White blessed buck because I have 2 blessed bucks already, normal blessed bucks already. Ideally, I would like a sable, and then a water buck. An eland would be fun too. It's kind of whatever presents itself to me, and they know that like I'll shoot a call if they want me to shoot a call, then I'll go for it. But I'm one of those people where sometimes I don't have a list. I didn't have a list last time we went, so.
And that is the nice thing too, is there's sometimes it's very opportunistic.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like Danny was saying earlier, if Hendrick or one of the PHs, you come around the corner and see something, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, that's a monster," you better listen to him, because if he's saying it's a monster, it's truly a monster. And, he's not going to make you shoot it, but if your pocketbook lets you, let the hammer down.
Yeah.
So
it's just Benjamins, man.
Hey, it's a bucket list, right? It's a bucket list.
Just make some fat stacks and go after it.
I would be tickled more than anything if Denise decided she was going to shoot something and that happened for her.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Right? So, just like your wife and your mom, Morgan, who shot, is able to say she shot something in Africa, right? She went there and she shot, and we talked to her before the show because, we had to get word that Morgan can't talk bad about her. So typically the last section of the show we ask our usual questions, but what is the favorite way to cook in camp? Over an open fire, a stove, crock pot? What's the best way that they like to cook there?
Well, almost every night you'll have the meat done on they call it's a braai, but it's barbecue pit.
Okay.
So they grab, wood and start the fire. Your bonfires, you'll sit around and have a couple of cocktails and talk about the hunt during the day. And then after the coals get nice and hot in the bonfire, they'll come over with a shovel, grab a bunch of coals out of the bonfire pit, and then take them over to the braai and stoke up, getting ready to throw the meat on the grill. So that'll be the main course almost every night over the grill in a bonfire.
Man, you can't beat that.
Obviously, from there you transition into the dining room itself for all the other side dishes and stuff.
This time, we're talking about food, and I'm going to get some of it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Not just sit here and drool over each other, and after the show go, gosh, now I'm hungry. But,
what is it, malva pudding?
Yes.
We'll have to get them some malva pudding.
Malva pudding?
Malva, yeah. M-A-L-V-A. It's a South African pudding that, but it is very good. Very good. So
I'll try
We'll
it.
make sure we have it at least once or twice while you're there.
I'll try it once. Obviously, once or twice sounds like you got to go back and have it again.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
My mom's made it here before, like in the States, when we were in the mood for it. It's good.
Really? You can actually make it here in the States?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so the ingredients are able to be found in the United States.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Man.
We got to come up with recipes.
And she's like, "Oh, you're gonna lose weight."
Yeah, doesn't sound like it.
Right?
Oh, you will. The food's healthier. That's why. And you're walking a lot.
Right? Hey, I've been walking with my boots and breaking them in, and
Oh, you got new boots?
Well, I got new boots. No, I got them a couple months ago.
Okay.
I've been walking.
All right.
I've been walking around the house with them even.
Okay.
I've been walking them and wearing them to work. He even said that. He says, if you're going to get new boots, get them early.
Yeah.
I went with a lighter tactical pair.
Gotcha.
From Merrill.
You know, something we haven't talked about before we wrap up here, we're getting close to the end of the show. What do you need to think about or be ready for vaccinations traveling abroad?
Nothing.
Nothing.
We are in a malaria-free area, so there's obviously no malaria, no yellow fever, anything like that.
Okay.
So there's no certain vaccinations that you need to get. You just need your passport and some money to shoot stuff.
Okay. The only vaccine you need is green.
Yes.
And lots of it.
Right?
So you can shoot a lot of animals.
I do have one question. How did you and Hendrick meet?
We actually met at one of the SCI shows here in Michigan. He had a booth at one of the shows that I always attend myself, and just went up and we started talking about Africa because I had been before with a different outfitter and that type of thing, and then he found out what I did and that type of thing, so we just started working together, and here we are 16 years later. He and I have been together working side by side, and it's been a good relationship. He's an awesome guy, great family, awesome business, and like I said, it's been gangbusters for us. So I'm happy to be working with him, and it's been good.
And when I met him here in Flint for the few minutes that I got to meet him, he sounded like he was really excited that I'm finally coming over and you'll be there with us and we're all going to be there together. And he sounds like he's really excited. And I think his son was there too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Harm.
Yeah. That's Harm, his youngest boy. He's 22-ish and just got his PH license. So he is a licensed professional hunter now there. And like I said, he'll probably be your PH while we're there. I will be with Hendrick because we're chasing buffalo. And when we do your buffalo, then Hendrick will switch, or actually I'll probably be with you. So we'll all be together with your buffalo. But that was Harm. That was his first trip to the States. He's just now, like I said, with his PH license, able to join his dad and keep the family business going.
There you go. And Jerry Lambert says I should add a warthog to my list.
There you go.
That's on my list too.
There you go. So
Yes,
Jerry's
with a bow?
You know, Jerry's hunted with me before. Jerry went with us in 2003. So it's been 20 years since Jerry has been there. So you can respond back to him that he needs to step up and get back over there.
All right. So there you go. A 20th anniversary trip is in order, right? Morgan, is that with a warthog with a bow or a gun?
Gun. I gun hunt over there.
Okay.
I'd like to get into bow hunting. I just don't practice a lot, and I have a lot better aim with a gun.
Oh, absolutely. I get it. If I don't feel right with a bow, I'm just gonna be like, okay, we're switching over to a gun and just be done with it. So
yeah,
that'll be I'll see how I shoot when I'm in there, and after shooting my animals, if we add a warthog, it'd be one thing. But I'm also gonna, if I get my animals in a timely manner, I'm gonna enjoy some time.
Need some downtime.
Downtime for sure. So.
Yep.
But other than that, I think the four of us are ready to go.
Sounds like you guys are gonna have a good time. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna hear some good stories when you get back.
The plan is to tell you some great stories.
All right. So, speaking of telling stories, the next 2 weeks, you're going to be gone. We're probably not going to be doing a show.
So everybody gets a 2-week break from you, and they're going to miss me.
Okay. We see how that works.
Right? So everybody, we're going to take 2 weeks. That will take us into... Oh, we got 5 Wednesdays in May.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So when we get back on the 24th, we will talk with a group from Escanaba, talking about the show in November. And then the week after that, we'll probably do a Africa wrap-up trip.
There you go.
And then we're into June.
And who knows if something pops up between, tonight and when you get back, I may entertain something if we get a guest on that we can muster up a show. So
you can always reach out to Mr. Mark Coleman. I'm sure he can tell you all about. He's been morelling and hammering them, right? He showed those pictures of his sacks of morels holding them up.
Sacks full.
Yep. So. Thanks, Tom Gensel. I plan on having a blast, literally, and I'm going to be in the company of a couple people that I've been wanting to be hunting with. So
there you go.
It's going to be good.
Well, Morgan, Dave, thanks for joining us tonight. Take care of the little guy here. Make sure he comes back in one piece. Don't let him chase no black mambas or anything like that. So
hey, look what I found!
Yeah. Woohoo! No,
we're looking forward to it ourselves, and we'll take care of him. And like I said, we'll have plenty of stories to tell for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to it. And we're gonna, we go through the whole process of getting the game back and talking about that.
Yep.
When you get them in hand, and maybe we can do have you at and J Cabin South, so you can take us around the room and show us what you got.
Oh, I can't wait to put it up on that wall.
If
anybody's been watching the live Facebook feed and you see that wall behind Dave, that's kind of what I can't wait to start. Absolutely. Have those 4 animals or whatever many animals we get up on that wall. So I'm ready.
You're only seeing about I don't know 4 or 5 or 20 that are.
Right, exactly. So that was one of the questions that was asked me is, where are you going to put him? I said, I got a wall for him.
He's got a wall. I've seen it.
Right?
Yeah, there is a wall. So, well, thanks again for joining us tonight and give us a little more insight into what it's like to go over there. I know Dan's going to be in good hands, and you guys are going to have a blast. So we'll catch up when you guys get back and celebrate the newbie being christened over there. So hang on with us here after the show. We'll talk briefly. But for those of you who listen to the podcast, if you're listening on iTunes, make sure you stop in over there, give us a review. That helps people who support us as well. And if you're on watching the live stream on Facebook, get over to Drop Time Outdoor Adventures on Facebook. Smash that like button. Give them a like, a follow, and be sure to share the show. Do the same for us as well.
And if you got any questions about any type of wanting to do a bucket list hunt, whether it's Africa, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Europe, anything, give Dave a call. I'm sure he would be more than happy to bring you up to date on what's going on around the world, what you can go do and hunt, and go look and find the hunt of your dreams.
There you go. The number's right there on the front of the page that we're showing right now. So get on over there and give him a call. So anything else?
Nope.
All right.
I'm ready.
Good luck, man.
Thank you, man.
All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. Remember, it's going to be, next 2 weeks, probably going to be off while he is out traipsing across the African continent. But when we come back, we're going to have a lot of stories to tell. So y'all take care, and we'll see y'all in a couple weeks. Till then, stay safe.
This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Deer Camp Coffee,
Buck Baits,
JPO Game Calls,
The Island Armory,
Hacker Max,
Sunrise Archery,
and C3 Better the Hunt Technology.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.